exploding parcels all across the UK, with major incidents at Gatwick Airport, Chester, the US Embassy in London, where someone has now been arrested for making a hoax, and Euston Station. Police are finally confirming too that terror cops are investigating whether an explosive device was planted on a plane. Do you remember this? Probably not, because the mainstream media pretty much ignored it. But an explosive device that exploded in a warehouse on a plane just outside of Birmingham in July. There are suggestions of Russian involvement. But the MSM is ignoring this major story. Certainly they don't want to join the dots here. No doubt to avoid properly questioning Slippery Starmer on what I believe is a ludicrous decision to join Joe Biden in trying to create World War III out of Ukraine before Donald Trump takes power. But I know there is much that we're not being told. For example, over the weekend, a Gatwick Airport whistleblower contacted me to say that an explosive device had been found within a laptop. Now, this is a potentially seismic story, right? What if Brits die? But the MSM remains pretty much silent, as Matt Kilcoyne tweeted over the weekend, stabbing on Westminster Bridge, nowhere to be seen, no updates on the suspicious packages and controlled explosions, nothing on the various wars going on, not even the royal parks all being closed, a series of magazine pieces and celeb stories. What on earth is going on at the BBC? So yet again, we have to turn to the independent media. And Alex Phillips, a former Outspoken guest, good friend of mine, she has an important theory on this. She said all the controlled explosions around the UK, Glasgow, Gatwick, Euston, Chester, all come after a series of parcel fires targeted cargo plane depots in Poland, Germany, and the UK. Now, I don't know, but if I were to guess, this is also Russia flexing in the wake of Storm Shadow missiles being given to Ukraine to use on Russian targets. My gut says if it was Islamist terrorism, those packages would have gone off, not been left to cause disruption and panic. If Russia had detonated explosives, it would instigate all-out war with the West. Nobody can afford that, but Putin does want to show how pissed off he is. I could be wrong, but that's my hunch. And Darren Grimes also said, the powers that be keep us in the dark. What on earth is going on? Is there a connection, or are we just being left to join the dot ourselves? Britain in 2024, violent crime rampant, public safety questioned, and still silence from those in charge. Something doesn't add up. What aren't they telling us? Back with our superstar panel now. Norman Brennan, you have to admit, as a law enforcement professional, this looks odd. Why aren't we being told the whole truth? Why aren't we being told about what the controlled explosion at Euston was all about? Why aren't we being told if a bomb was discovered in a laptop at Gatwick Airport? Surely this is a huge story.
It is a huge story, but in defence of policing, which they rarely have anybody standing up defending them, is because of police reasons and protocol. They will only tell the public what they feel that the public need to know from the police perspective. Often we're looking for people that we actually know. So what we don't want to do is actually put them off or let them know who we're looking for. So what the police do, same as any homicide or anything else, they will tell the public the minimal information. I absolutely know and understand the appetite of the public wanting more and more information. The public often say to me, and I post on nearly every homicide and shooting and stabbing in London, around the country, what is the colour? Well, to be quite honest with you, I never get involved in that. The colour is absolutely not important. What is important is what has happened, who has been hurt or killed.
Well, yes, I agree with that. But surely, Andrew Eborn, it is also important to know if these incidents are linked in some way. Are they being investigated together?
You're absolutely right, Dan, as always. And what happens if you stop people, who keep them in the dark, they fill the vacuum with their own sort of wild and spurious theories. But without doubt, Putin's made it very clear there's going to be retaliation. It may not be a direct strike or whatever it is, but this is certainly a possibility. And it was always, you work on that sort of principle. You want to sell anything to anybody, fear is by far the greatest human emotion by which you can sell things. And I think by keeping us in the dark, fear is only going to spread. So we need that information. The reports about the Westminster Bridge incident, it started off as a stabbing. It then turned into, the media reported it as a heart attack. But clearly there was an incident. And again, it's another example of where information is being kept from people. We need to know things so we can form informed decisions and keep us safe.
Stephen Barrett?
We fought a war where we knew more about what was going on than we seem to know today. It's about, there is a line. Obviously, we can't know everything. That's perfectly understandable. But what has changed is that we're no longer treated like grown-ups who can be trusted to know quite a lot of things and then not told certain things. And instead, we are massively infantilized from day one. The automatic assumption of those in charge is that we can't know anything. If we know anything at all, we'll react hysterically. Now, I'm afraid that is then causative of problems. So at the moment, the authorities don't seem to understand that they cause problems. Like the one thing, Dan, that really gets me about the Southport riots is nobody seems to talk about Starmer's role in causing it. He was an out-of-touch, tin-eared leader who showed no emotion as he robotically walked up to place down a wreath, didn't talk to the crowd, didn't respond to heckles when they inevitably came, and then immediately, when those very sad and angry and scared people go bananas, as they did, he condemns them as far right and tries to pretend that Elon Musk caused the bloody thing. I mean, this is nonsense. And I think we need to go back. If we're going to become a high trust society again, then we need to go back to the authorities trusting us an awful lot more and treating us like grown-ups, and at the same time, us behaving like grown-ups. So certainly an awful lot less, of the kicking off and the silliness and the childishness. But at the moment, we seem to be going down the doom loop where the authorities seek to control us more and more. And we seem to act like children more and more. It's in Star Wars. The more you seek to control us, the more power and control will slip from your grip. If the authorities don't know that, and by the way, Dan, we are a democracy. I keep seeing behavior like a dictator.
Yep.
Starmer's already behaving like a thin-skinned narcissist. Yesterday, I compared him to the Emperor Nero. I think he's terribly disappointed in us.
But first, we've been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams were the easiest way to look younger. Now, one doctor says that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lake, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. They hardly make a dent on your appearance, and some can even be harmful to your skin, he said. Recently, Dr. Lake has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic practices. Why? So he can pursue a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough, one that some experts say could empty the wallets of the cosmetic industry. It's almost like Photoshop for your face. You may even be mad after seeing how easy it is to visibly erase your wrinkles from view, Lake told reporters. His personal clients have dubbed his new do-it-yourself technique the age rewinder method because it can take years or even decades off your appearance in under 2 minutes. In light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lake has released a step-by-step video to the public, free and uninterrupted, where he outlines exactly how to use this simple solution from home. If this helps even one person look younger or feel more confident, I'll be thrilled knowing I helped, Dr. Lake commented. The video has since gone viral. At first, it was shared by users on Facebook, but since then, it's racked up over 2.3 million views and counting. So far, the comments and feedback have been outstanding, with thousands of women reporting they look decades younger. One viewer even commented, "Best results of anything I've used. I can't believe how well this works. I'll never stop using this. I don't understand how it works, but the results are amazing. Thank you." So you can find out more about this yourself right now. Go to bhmd1.com/outspoken or click on the link in the description box below. So that's bhmd1.com/outspoken. Now, there is one thing Dr. Lake asks from his viewers. If watching this video helps you look and feel younger than you have in years, then please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Together, we have the power to help as many women reclaim a youthful look as possible. So go watch the video at bhmd1.com/outspoken right now, or just click on the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show. Yeah, no, completely. Which is why Elon Musk keeps on saying this is like a totalitarian police state. I am so glad, Stephen Barrett, though, that you have spoken about Starmer's behaviour in the hours and the days after Southport, because it's something that I have spoken about on this show, but actually very, very few people, certainly no one in the mainstream media has even gone there. But I could not agree more. He was very much responsible for this. He was so personally horrified about the fact that he was heckled that he couldn't handle it. So he decided to go into his little cove and say, I'm not going to say anything, but what I'm going to do is crack down on these people who hate me. In fact, when he was being heckled, he should have had the balls to go and speak to those people. One of the people who was heckling him was the best friend of someone whose daughter had just been stabbed, and he walked away. He ignored the British public, because I felt like the people yelling at him at that point were all of us. They represented all of us. They represented all of our frustrations, and he turned his back.
Of course, and that's somebody a good politician puts an arm around.
Yes.
You know, that's what Boris would have done. Boris would have gone into the crowd. There's a line, I like Claudius, and there's a line, there's a riot, and Livia can't deal with it. So she says, we need to get Marcus Agrippa back. Agrippa speaks their language. And Starmer cannot speak our language. He does not get us. He does not understand our feelings. He doesn't seem to understand any human emotion or have favourite films, or, I mean, he just doesn't seem to be a real person. But a talented politician, but a talented politician would have simply walked into that crowd.
What was that, Norman?
Calmed everyone down. And it's not party political, because I'm sure that there are very able Labour people who could have done it. It's just that Boris springs to mind.
There's not many politicians who could have done it full stop. But I'll tell you what, Nigel Farage wouldn't have turned his back on those grieving people. Sorry, Norman, what was your point?
Mr. Starmer, he is not a man of the people.
No.
He is, as I agree with one of your other guests, he's a dictator. He tells you what he wants to. And getting back to the original petition, the reason why 2.3 million people have signed it, because it's because he has not done what he said he would do. Yeah. What he has done is he has hurt Britain. He hasn't just hurt certain sections. He's hurt all of us. Yes. He's hurt the farmers. He's hurt the pensioners. He's hurt the police officers. He's hurt the public. He's hurt businesses. There isn't anybody.
And he lied about it too. He lied about it too. I feel like he is literally spitting in our faces. And I know that is a strong term, but that is how I feel. I feel like he lied so blatantly and he doesn't give a damn about it. But look,
you're so right, Dan. There was that sort of moment during the election campaign when they talked about basically we won't be putting up the taxes on the ordinary working man. And it was those weasel words. We thought, well, what's an ordinary working folk? Because the reality is we've got increase in national insurance was going to have a trickle-down effect. You've got pensioners who've got a choice between heating or eating this winter. Elon Musk, say my new best mate, basically he wasn't even invited to the
no, they hate him. They hate him because he called them out. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.